Now, joining us, we're very proud and privileged to have some members of Stay Up Late organisation, the Gig Buddies scheme we mentioned earlier. Paul, Luke and Mark have joined us to tell us a little bit more about the scheme. Paul, perhaps I should probably pass on to you as director of Stay Up Late first off, just tell us a little bit about how it got started and just exactly what it is.
Okay, well, I was in a punk band called Heavy Load for 15 years and three of the guys in Heavy Load had learning disabilities, and we were fortunate in that we were involved in a documentary film that was on the BBC, and one of the things that was featured in the film was how we were getting fed up with people leaving our gigs early. And we, you know, as a sort of arrogant band, never thought it was anything to do with the quality of our performances, which were quite acquired. You know, it was quite sort of odd, chaotic music with lots of swearing, and it was all over the place half the time. Great fun. And the reason people were leaving, we thought, was because support staff, worked inflexible shifts, meaning that they'd finish work at 10 o'clock at night, so therefore the people that they were supporting didn't have full social lives. And we think having a full social life is incredibly important. So Stay Up Late came out of our experiences, our frustrations, and turned into a charity to carry on the work that the band started. Okay.
And the Gig Buddy scheme, is that like the main sort of stay of what you do?
It is. It's the thing that's really been the catalyst in the last year for enabling us to get more funding to employ a project manager, Madeline, who couldn't be here today, but she manages the scheme, and it's brought in loads of interest. And basically, all Gig Buddies does is finds somebody with a learning disability who loves a certain kind of music and matches them with a volunteer who loves the same kind of music. And that way we can, you know, in a very sort of serious way, we can help prevent social isolation, but people are just going out having fun and doing what everybody else takes for granted.
How do you kind of get the word out there to volunteers and people on the scheme themselves?
All sorts of ways. So people on the scheme, we advertise around support providers, the local authorities, carers centres, and through social workers and places like that. And then for volunteers, we go through the universities, through music venues, word of mouth, all sorts of different ways. Just basically find people who are interested in music. It doesn't even have to be music. Some people want a church buddy or a wrestling buddy or a badminton buddy. It doesn't really matter what your gig is, you know, it's whatever you're into.
I just want a buddy.
And so what kind of events are you going to music-wise?
All sorts, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
You know, kind of anything between kind of like rock to kind of like dance, like festivals, promotion nights. Like me and Luke went to one of the Source magazine nights, didn't we, at Brighton, Corn Exchange. Oh, sorry, it was a pavilion, wasn't it?
Yeah. Was that the new music?
Yeah,
Source
New Music Night. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
That was really cool. We saw 4 bands there, kind of like a whole range of different genres. Yeah.
And Luke, we managed to get to take Gig Buddies to Glastonbury this year, didn't we?
Yeah, we were to Glastonbury, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who did you see there?
I did, yeah.
Who's your favourites there, Luke?
Dizzy Rascal.
Dizzy Rascal, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's my favourite.
So how did you organise taking a whole group of people to Glastonbury?
Well, we did it in partnership with a charity called Attitude is Everything, and they're based in London. They're friends of ours, and their whole work is around making sure that music venues are accessible, both in a sort of for people with physical disabilities, but also for sensory impairments as well. So they do loads of work supporting venues to do that. And one of the things they do is they provide the stewards for the disabled viewing platforms at Glastonbury. So Madeline was very resourceful, got Luke and another guy, David, in as stewards, and then we all went to support them doing their stewarding. So it was a really great kind of. So it was like 8-hour days, but you know, it's not really work at Glastonbury.
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
You were just mentioning earlier the term hate crime.
Yeah.
Go into that a little bit more, because I think you said something. What was people's first interpretation of that? And actually, you made me think. Well, I'm not quite sure.
Well, it's an interesting thing. It gets used a lot at the moment. Hate crime, and the particularly with sort of comedians like Frankie Boyle telling kind of really quite nasty jokes about people with disabilities.
Yeah.
And so the disability lobby comes in and sort of talks about hate crime. And we were asked by East Sussex County Council, when the band was going, if we could write a song about disability hate crime. So I started talking to people with learning disabilities saying, well, you know, what's this about? Just to try and work out what the words should be. And we soon found out that people didn't really understand what the term meant. So it's been used by all the professionals and the police and everybody, but the people who were victims of it didn't really know what it meant.
Right.
So one of the things is it's about being called names that aren't good, you know, aren't positive. So we had this idea that we'd go to the Ting Tings and say, can we re-record That's Not My Name, and use it to you know, raise awareness around disability hate crime. So a friend of ours is an actor called Matt Fraser, and he's got really short arms. His mum took thalidomide in the 60s. And also we managed to get a cameo from Pete Bennett from Big Brother on there as well. And so the lyrics, all, you know, they call me Spaz, they call me Mong, they call me retard, that's not my name. So the whole song is deliberately provocative, but it's like, get to know people, don't call them.
Where can we find this song or see it?
It's on YouTube. If you look at Heavy Load, That's Not My Name, you'll find it on YouTube.
So I was just going to ask if obviously our viewers want to get involved, they want to volunteer or be involved with the scheme because they have a learning disability. Where's the first place of contact? How do they get in touch?
Well, just go through our website and the email's on there, and then or phone number, so they can just get in touch and get involved. We're particularly looking for people in Brighton and East Sussex at the moment. Yeah. So how did you get involved?
A friend of mine actually Facebooked me. I work with a company called Autism Sussex, and I've been working with learning disabilities before. So she said, you know, this might be up your street because she knows I like going to gigs, etc. And so yeah, I contacted Madeline via the website, and met up, had a sort of informal interview, and then got paired up with Luke. And then from there, we've just been like, we've only been to one gig together, but we've got Dillinger Escape Plan lined up on Halloween next Thursday.
Oh, brilliant.
So that should be very exciting. So yeah.
And how do you find it as a volunteer?
I love it, yeah. I mean, you know, I love going to gigs.
So you'd recommend it to other people? You think
Oh,
benefits both for the carers and...
Yeah, totally. Like, it's educating as well. Like people who haven't had experience like me in care work, it's sort of like, you know, it brings awareness. It's very positive, and
Well, I hope you enjoy your next gig.
thank you very much.
Yeah, enjoy Dillinger Escape Plan. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
And thank you very much, all three of you,
Yeah,
for joining
thanks,
us
guys.
today.
Thanks for having us.